Crawl is a new horror film from Alexandre Aja, who directed Piranha 3D, and is produced by Sam Raimi, one of my favourite directors of all time. I'm always curious when a new Sam Raimi produced horror film arrives, because when they work, we get something awesome like Don't Breathe. Crawl stars Kaya Scodelario as Haley, who travels to her old family home to find her dad during a Category 5 hurricane. When she finds him, the pair wind up trapped in the house's crawl space, as a number of alligators have made themselves at home under the house. As they try to escape the alligators, the crawl space begins to flood from the hurricane, limiting the time that they have to escape, while at the same time, the alligators discover new ways around the house. Crawl is a creature feature through and through. If you had a fun time with the Meg last year, but wanted something a little smaller scale and a little gorier, then Crawl will have you covered. The movie isn't trying to be a high piece of art, it's schlocky when it needs to be, with a lot of cheesy lines and dumb horror characters doing dumb things. When the movie is building atmosphere and tension as the daughter and father are trying to escape this house, Crawl can be quite fun. The movie is simple and focused in its premise, keeping the attention on Haley and her father in this one location, so you don't get an overabundance of characters and storylines to make things convoluted. Crawl does have a habit though of suddenly introducing new characters that are clearly intended to be meat bags for the alligators, just to keep the body count up. And that's fine for the most part. There are some fun and creative over-the-top kills that horror fans are going to get a kick out of. The alligators look pretty good for the most part, particularly for being a mix of CG and practical alligators, and they genuinely appear threatening as our lead characters have a number of close calls with them, helping to keep the stakes raised. Like the previously mentioned Don't Breathe, Crawl makes good use of the one location that the movie is set in, utilizing different parts of the house as the water levels start to rise, giving the alligators access to different parts of the house definitely keeps things interesting. Watching the pair try to navigate the house in the time that they have left definitely had me wondering how they would get out of each situation. The movie gives the character Haley a bit of a backstory and spends time in between scares trying to build up her backstory and the past that she shares with her dad, as they try to reconnect over the film while trying to survive long enough to escape. Any exposition gets moved along quite quickly as the movie tries to set up the next sequence with the alligators. So while the movie never gets bogged down with too many details, the characters never really get a chance to make a real impression and are ultimately pretty forgettable. However, Kaya Scodelario does carry the movie as Haley, and she is put through a lot of hard physical acting, often having to crawl or be completely soaking wet. For what had to be a pretty difficult and physically demanding role, Scodelario pulls through the movie like a champ and is always entertaining to watch. The movie definitely falls into a few logic problems regarding how the house is set up and the location that the characters are in, and if you let these problems become an issue, then yeah, this movie is going to become pretty frustrating. But as soon as you see a character doing something that clearly is setting them up to die, you get the payoff of a ridiculously fun kill or sequence with the alligators, and so if you go into the movie expecting it to be a little cheesy and dumb, then you'll probably enjoy yourself. It takes itself too seriously to be anything Sharknado level, but it's definitely a lot better than those films. But Crawl knows what type of film that it is, and remembers to have a lot of fun, with plenty of schlocky over-the-top gore. As I said, if you saw the Meg and wanted something a little gorier and more horror focused, then Crawl will be for you. If you're a horror fan, catch Crawl with some friends and have a good time. Otherwise, it's perfectly understandable if you wait to catch it on Netflix. Crawl gets a 6.5 out of 10 from me. Guys, I hope you like this review. If you want to see more reviews just like this one, stay right here for your Monofix. Bye guys.